Hi everyone. So I'm going to do a quick video reflection of my thoughts of how my engagement with my engagement and exploration within the virtual environment, how that aligns to the scholarly work that I looked at. So within this experience, I wanted to look at some of the various ways that empathy is used and created within XR experiences. In the example of Clouds over Sidra, the experience that I shared here, it is clear that the video is engaging despite it being what I would say a lower immersive experience. At the end of the day, the user is at the mercy of the narrator and is along for the journey. However, the experience was much more impactful than traditional mediums. I took a look at a video. It was in 2016. Chris Milk did a TED Talk and discussed how VR can create the ultimate empathy machine. And he highlighted how these experiences can humanize global issues, change perceptions, foster empathy, and lead to social change. He was one of the people who were involved in the development of Clouds over Sidra. They ended up taking this to Davos, to a panel of world leaders, hoping for social change. On the contrary, we look at I found an article by Roke 2020 who critiques this concept of the empathy machine and explains how often that when empathy is generated by VR, it's often directed towards the creators of the VR experience and not necessarily the subjects within the experience. Roke identifies both positive and negative empathy. So, for example, Roke identifies instead of fostering a deeper understanding of the subjects within the VR experience, empathy often focuses on the creator's vision of the experience itself. So I thought that was very interesting, and Roke outlines some ways that we need to address. And so some of those things include we need to focus on VR being more inclusive and more accessible, and the need for diverse people to be involved in creating those VR experiences. Pulling back an article from last week, Lyon Bailey et al., which is from 2022, they offer a structured approach to adopting VR and AR in education, looking at the XR ABC framework that focuses on the 3 stages of absorbing, blending, and creating content. So absorbing readily available apps. So this is our Clouds over Sidra. It's utilizing this existing app and providing that virtual field trip to support understanding. So it's really important to pair this with meaningful conversation and thoughtful instructional delivery. We're looking at the other experience of Mission ISS. I would say that is a blended experience, looking at how the user is still able to interact with the components of the space station, as well as interact with experiences within there, operating the Canadarm and going on a spacewalk. So you are in control there. You're not necessarily creating something, but you are able to manipulate the world in some way. The last kind of piece I looked at here was culturally responsive pedagogy and VR. So Brown et al. 2021 found that VR to be an engaging traditional, or found VR to be more engaging than traditional classroom experiences. So, however, they highlighted the importance of cultural relevance and connecting to community in order to make that content more relevant and meaningful, as well as connecting that to social justice awareness issues and pulling those into VR experiences. So I think the Clouds over Sidra did that piece there. So the inclusion of students' backgrounds in the design of online spaces is also very important. And so when we are creating those experiences or getting students to create those experiences, things like the getting students to build their own avatars or pieces like that will have profound impacts on students' learning experiences because you are providing opportunities for them to celebrate their cultural identities, which in turn is connected to student success.